Monday Night Madness is where your voice takes the mic. This platform is for the dysfunctionally passionate Raider fan to provide their overreactive analysis, provide their emotional persuasiveness, and a chance to be grossly opinionated. When you take the mic, your hot take doesn't necessarily reflect the beliefs of all of Raider Nation or of this show. There might be cussing, arguing, and fans appearing on camera that aren't camera ready. Everyone is welcome to take the mic and join the madness.
If there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
I think this journey is the most special because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity playing in high school and college and then pro and then being injured and then starting coaching as a young coach.
Can portray me any way they want because I don't give a damn. I am what I am, and until those people touch me close enough, they'll never know what I am. If they want to see me in this interview or in a newspaper article and say, what's the matter with this guy? Let them say it. But don't you analyze me and don't you tell me what I am until you get close enough to understand what I am. Then you can make an analysis of me. But don't you dare do it until that.
Clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over. Run through a motherfucker face.
The mental side of the game is taking me to the next level, and it's true confidence. It's feeding your brain elite of elite. And as I always talk about 1% and more is required, and I always say these things, but it's what I live. I see it everywhere I go because you have to constantly train your mind for greatness.
What's up, folks?
What you doing?
Uh-oh, Spicy, we can't hear you. Yeah. Well,
all right, I guess it's us now.
Together. Right. I'm still recovering. From yesterday. I had hope. I thought, that first quarter had me juiced. So, hey, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you guys hear me? No?
We got you.
There you go.
All good. Well, welcome to Monday Night Madness. If you didn't hear the intro, the Raiders have been eliminated. And what we can do is look forward to what is next. If you're playing along with us tonight, the drinking game alert is eliminated. It's probably not something we should be coasting to, but it's something that can help us tolerate another losing season and another season that we're not going to make the playoffs, unfortunately. Remember, like that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and join to become a member. And here's our hot takes. Of course, they've been eliminated. We're going to go over some. All right, I know it's early to talk about the draft, but kind of all we have to look forward to now is how to move forward. Max made it to the Pro Bowl again. Congrats to him. And Bowers wows us yet again with another amazing catch. And let's talk about it. I know we've been talking about it over and over. There's a difference of opinion. Who's the problem? Geno, the O-line, coaching? I know it's all the above, but who's more to blame? Of course, it's Geno because he told us that himself. If you want to be on the show, this is the show where we want to hear from you. You don't want to hear from us. So the link is in the chat there if you want to come on and join us. Well, let's try to start with some good news here, right? Let's try to start with some good news. Max made the Pro Bowl again. Okay. It's a little something to be celebrated, right?
Sure.
At least, I'll say this. At least he never quits, right? We can't quit on our team. Yep. He never quits. Yep. And there were several really good one-handed catches yesterday. One by our own Brock Bowers. This is a little dig here. By a terribly thrown ball by Geno Smith.
Yes.
But he got it, guys. So those are our two positives for our takeaway for today.
There was another positive, too, yesterday. At least for me. I was very happy to see Caleb Rogers out there. I don't know about anyone else. I was happy to see him. I thought he didn't do that bad. I think he allowed a pressure. But yeah, I was happy to see the young guy out there. Hope to see more of him. So that was another thing.
I agree. I was happy to see a lot of our rookies out there. I thought Porter held his own also.
Yep.
you saw a little bit of Porter out there. You saw a little bit of Pegues out there. I mean, I was just happy to see some of the rookies getting some playing time and that they deserve and I think that they need. And like I said, I thought that most of them held their own. So, that was kind of the positive take for me.
Yeah. I'm going to say that was a win. Seeing some young, all of them, the rookies need to be out there from this time forward. All of them, just throw them out there.
Absolutely.
We ain't got nothing else to lose.
Yeah, like I said, they held their own, so why not?
Yep.
We've been screaming for it for months. Like we've been on this show talking about it for months, and it finally is starting to happen a little bit. I mean, I thought the rotations were a little funky. First you had, Porter, then Kyle Kelly, then Porter again. I don't think that's. I mean, the continuity. We talk about it a lot where they need to be in there and take their lumps. So I mean, if we're gonna throw them out there and let them take some lumps. I thought some of the rotations were a little weird, but I agree. It was good to see them in the lineup.
Yep. And I mean, I'm going to say the way some, and maybe we'll go a little deeper into that, but the way some of the linebackers were playing, I wouldn't have mind seeing 5 DBs out there with 2 linebackers. I mean, seriously, a lot. We used to do that more with Pat Graham's defense. We used to see that, is it a dime defense or whatever it was? And with his zone, he used to do that a little more often. We haven't seen it. So I don't know if that's a Carroll thing where he's rang that one in. But I wouldn't mind seeing that, especially with, a linebacker I won't name right now, who was very inconsistent yesterday, but maybe next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this a little bit more because it's the ongoing conversation. We can sit and talk about this all night. Chime in the chat. The ongoing conversation. Besides the fact that Geno told us he was to blame, who do you guys really think is to blame? Because I want to segue this into the draft, actually. Is it Geno himself? Is it the O-line? Or is it coaching? Now, I know it's easy to sit here and say all three because that's absolutely true. It is all three. But to segue this into the draft, what do we look for? I'll go ahead and go first. I think Geno was a huge part of this problem. However, I think that I've changed my mind a little bit. I think that the Raiders need to fix their O-line situation. Because if they draft a quarterback, that quarterback is going to be like obliterated. He's not going to have the experience. He's not going to have the experience to make decisions and things like that. Because honestly, I don't think it's that good of a quarterback draft class. And with that O-line right there, a rookie quarterback would be demolished. So guess what? I say draft for the O-line, let them get it together. And if they can't protect Geno, we paid him enough, let his ass get demolished next year. And then we draft a quarterback. So that's kind of where I am now. How do you guys feel about it?
I say coaching. I say I don't care who we draft. The way these guys are coaching, if Brendan Carroll is the O-line coach, we could have a number 1 draft pick or offensive lineman with our first pick. And they're not going to do anything. We can bring in a free agent offensive lineman, and they may do a little bit. But the way they're being coached, I gotta say, coaching is a big issue. And right now, I'm gonna say Brendan Carroll is, and I think he's only there, and the reason why he's still there is because of nepotism, because his dad is Pete Carroll. So how do you fix that without replacing Pete Carroll? And I know we want some consistency, some continuity, and all the good things that we feel we should have to have a stable organization. But I don't think the O-line, the quarterback situation, I don't think any of that can be effective with a bad coaching staff. So
I 100% agree. I think it goes back to coaching, and I think we're seeing it. I mean, just look, JPJ has been out for the last month, and there was a big fight about him playing center and where he should be playing and everything like that. He's not a part of that O-line, and it's been terrible. And it just goes to show you that, I mean, once again, if we have the right bit of coaching, we started maybe playing him in the right positions from the beginning of the year, we wouldn't have maybe started off so bad. I mean, while he was in there before he got hurt, we could have actually got some wins. There were some winnable games in there that we didn't win. And I agree with Omar that the only way to fix the O-line, the only way to fix this whole coaching situation that we have with our O-line is to fire Brendan Carroll. And the only way you're firing Brendan Carroll is if you fire Pete.
Yep.
And I think, and furthermore, I think if you fire Pete, a lot goes down with him, right? I think if Pete goes, Geno goes as well. Sure. Pete goes, Geno goes, Brendan Carroll goes, and probably others. But it's an interesting question or interesting thought because you guys, you went a little different way. You said coaching, which I agree with as well. If you look at the fundamentals of yesterday's game, that was the O-line, but even on defense especially, I think this is on coaching as well. The Raiders literally cannot even tackle correctly. Right. These are fundamentals. Yep. They're shoulder checking people at the line of as they're trying to enter the end zone, and that's all these guys are bouncing right off their shoulder check and running into the end zone for a touchdown. Now, to me, these players should know better. They should know how to tackle. Clearly, they don't, but also, to me, I see that goes into coaching. They're probably doing this in practice. It's not being corrected. Shoulder checking is not doing the trick. They need to go back to the fundamentals of tackling. I mean, it sounds silly that we're even saying those words, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that Vidal run it wasn't because he's an explosive back or anything. It was terrible angle and bad tackling. And that's all. The only reason he had that big run on us was, like you said, and that goes back to coaching. That goes back to doing the little things in practice, making sure that those I's are dotted and those T's are crossed. And you're right. I mean, shoulder checking someone, that's just you trying to make a big hit. That's you trying to blow somebody up and, ooh, look at me. But you can't do that in the NFL with everybody. You're right. They're going to bounce right off you. They're going to keep running. And you have to wrap up, and that's not getting done. And that's what happened on the Kimani Vidal run.
Yeah, this team has bad coaching written all over it. And like I say, I think the blunt of the responsibility goes right to Pete Carroll. He's the head coach. Yeah. We've heard them talk about, hey, don't worry about trying to make highlight reels. You know what I mean? Speaking about fundamentals, tackle, you know what I mean? The details, and it's not showing up on the field, which means in practice, it's not being called out. It's not being taught. You know, a good coach is a good teacher. You know, I mean, they were just talking about that with one of our greatest coaches, that he had a degree in teaching. So, I mean, yeah, it's written all over this team. It really, really is. And then we also see players add insult to injury. You know, when we think of Geno Smith holding the ball too long, not using audibles when he's at the line of scrimmage, which means, hey, he could totally reject that play that was called in and check it down. You know what I mean? He could do something else and not do that. So, like I say, you start with some bad coaching, and then all of a sudden these guys are adding insult to injury, taking, not wrapping up. Like I say, they've been doing, this is something that they've been doing since Pop Warner to tackle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's so much blame to go around. But like I say, to me, I'm just going to say the buck has to start and stop with coaching, and then I think from there, we got to work on everything else, because unfortunately, we've been in a consistent rebuild. And I don't think, like I say, outside of this coaching era, Mark Davis has got to get patient. I think his biggest error right now is that you got to make the right call and then be patient. Understand a plan and be patient, It is. Yeah, that first part is really hard. That first part is really hard. You know what I mean? And that, to me, is going to be the question now with Pete Carroll is now he's going to be patient with Pete Carroll and say, okay, let's kind of reload. And that's something we're going to have to see at the end of the season. I don't think Pete Carroll is going to get fired before then.
All right, we have a guest backstage that we're going to bring in. Not actually Pete Carroll, but it just might be. Welcome to the show, Pete Carroll, not Accelerator. How are you tonight? Thank you for joining the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the coach of your Las Vegas Raiders, Pete Carroll. How are you guys doing tonight?
Very good. Glad you could join us.
Yeah.
I just have one question for you guys. Can I borrow some money? Because I don't think I'm going to have a job very much longer. So either of you could spare a couple of bucks. I totally appreciate that.
No, you'll still be on payroll like the 5 or so other coaches that are on payroll for the Raiders. It's actually probably the best gig in football is to be a coach for the Raiders, get fired, and then get paid for being basically retired.
What did we pay Pete? I don't even remember what we're paying him.
It's somewhere. It's above 10, I think.
Oh,
yeah. I think he's like 13 or
that was like 12.
It's up there. It's somewhere around there.
Salary as head coach is $15 million.
15. All right. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Almost double what they were paying AP, because I think AP was at 8. So,
that seems like a bargain price.
Wait, and like I say, you could pay somebody less and get better production. Wow. I mean, sheesh. Yeah, pretty bad.
All right. Who's that, Anna? All right, Anna. I'll just fire myself so you guys can start over, and you know what I'm saying?
It's not like you need the money, Pete. It's not like you need the money.
Yeah. I can go away. So I actually just got here. So what was the topic of
so we were asking, what do you think? Obviously, it's true to all of these. The problems Geno, the problems the O-line, the problems the coaching staff. But in your opinion, what needs to be fixed first? Because we could segue into this and going into the draft. I was saying I had to change the tune a little bit, saying that we don't go for the quarterbacks. It's not a good quarterback class, and there's no one to protect a rookie quarterback. So I was saying go beef up that O-line, and then we paid Geno for next year. Let him get demolished. That was kind of my angle. The other guys were saying they think the immediate need is to take care of the coaching staff. Fire and replace, basically. So there's the cliff notes. Where are you on this?
Well, I pretty much agree with what you're saying. No quarterback can quarterback his way out of this mess. Like we could have Patrick Mahomes back there, and it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Also, I mean, we're always looking for like quarterback, the next superstar quarterback. The thing is, the Raiders have never had a true superstar quarterback, and they still have won 3 Super Bowls, right? I know Stabler and them were good, but they weren't Aaron Rodgers and they weren't Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? They're nothing even close to that. So, I mean, it's really more just about building a team. So I would say, yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what I would pick. I think I would take a corner in the first round just because corner is such a big need. But like in the second and third rounds, just beef up the lines. Almost everything should be line after that, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to address some other needs too, but we should be drafting a whole lot of offensive and defensive linemen. So that's where I would go with that. And what was your other point again?
Well, basically that's it. Just what is the immediate need out of the issues that the Raiders have? So you're saying the same in a sense. The draft. Here's a look at the draft. And looking ahead, the Raiders currently have 10 picks in 26 draft. I've heard different rumors about which place that the Raiders are in right now. I'm not sure. Somewhere between 1 through 4, it sounds like. But this is how many. That's a lot of picks, and we know they've actually ended up with some good picks. I think in the past 2 this season and last. So maybe and Omar, I think you were saying this in previous shows. There's a lot of good offensive linemen you can get in these later rounds, and the Raiders have a ton of picks.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I think we have to start with coaching. I mean, if there's a quarterback there in the first round you like, go ahead. But if you don't have the coaching staff and we don't have patience, there's another thing. Because if you look at some of the things that's going on in this league, I mean, it is so hit and miss, even with good coaches, with a quarterback. I mean, look at the New York Giants, just for instance. I'll pick on them real quick. Daniel Jones they picked him in the first round. Yep. And they got a brand new coach for him in Diebold, who was a very good offensive coach. He did really well for the Bills. Put them two together, crash and burn. They let go of their first round pick, and now he's killing it in Indy. Yep. No patience, 0 patience. Now, whether Diebold was the right guy, but having patience, because I'm with grabbing a QB in the first round and sitting them. I'm serious. Yeah. If I'm the Raiders owner, I'm having patience. I want to build this thing. Go ahead and try to win now, but you also need to draft for tomorrow as well. If there's a quarterback you love, if Mendoza, I'm just going to, because he's been the name flying around. I'm not co-signing him or anything, but I've just seen his name so much now. But if that's your guy, pick him. He don't have to start, though, next season. Let him sit. You know what I mean? Have patience. So I think we got to get a good coaching staff, and then we got to get patient, man. We do. And then let this thing build and run its course.
And my thing is we can draft the best offensive lineman in every round. We can draft the best quarterback in this draft, the best corner, whatever position you want to look at. Do we trust Pete's son if we go out and build this offensive line to really coach these guys up and get them to play? I don't. I mean, I haven't seen anything this year that says that Brendan Carroll can coach these guys. I haven't seen anything that Pete, if we bring in the best quarterbacks or the best position players, corner, whatever it is to his liking, that Pete's going to coach them up because he's not playing any of our rookies right now anyways. Yeah. So even if we have, like, if we hit on every player in that draft, I don't trust this coaching staff to do their job to coach them up and get them in there and get the best potential out of them. And like I said, I think we're seeing it right now by not playing a lot of our rookies that should be in there, that should have been getting reps over the last probably 2 months, but at least month, in my opinion. I mean, we're a 2-9 team, and we're still not playing these guys. Like I said, we played them a little bit yesterday, but I think that's just because of the outcry of the fans and the outcry of hopefully the front office. But even then, like I said it earlier, the rotations were so wonky and weird that I don't think that they got the benefit out of playing that they should have.
Caleb Rogers did a good job, though, in my opinion, for like the first time being out there.
Absolutely. Porter did good. Rogers did good. Pegues did good, but it was in such limited action.
Yeah, well, he played the whole
in and out of the lineup, and it was just so weird.
He was playing a lot of one-on-one too, so
yeah,
and he was still holding his own. So that's very cool because their defensive line doesn't suck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I feel like Caleb Rogers, now we're getting a chance to see him. Hopefully, he'll come back out next week and the week after, and so on. And it'll lead to more, obviously more rookies playing. It's good to see Thornton out there on a regular basis now. I mean, I'm sorry, not Thornton. I always get him confused with the cornerback.
Porter. No,
the corner.
Porter. That's the corner.
Porter.
His last name's.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I get him confused with the rookie receiver a lot. So.
But see, that's my problem is Caleb Williams did as well as he did yesterday. Are you telling me that a month ago, if we would have put him in, he would have done that well? You know what I mean? Like, why are we just seeing him on November 30th? You can't tell me that all of a sudden in practice he just showed, this week in practice that he was ready to go. And if he did, then once again, that goes back to coaching. Why haven't we coached this kid up sooner to get him in there?
Right. Yeah.
No, I agree.
It seemed like they just seemed like they were just trying to lean on the veterans.
Do you think that Caleb Rogers did a better job than Jordan Meredith?
What?
Do you guys think that Caleb in replacing Jordan Meredith, do you think Caleb Rogers, in your opinion, did just as good or a better job than him?
In many ways, given that is his first time out there, and like I feel I can already somewhat say I feel more comfortable with Caleb than Jordan Meredith. So
and you got so much more upside. I mean, we were seeing Meredith's ceiling. You know what I mean? We've seen his ceiling. Meredith, this is the floor. This is the floor for this kid. So,
but we had Kappa playing center too. I was just like, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It just doesn't make any sense, and that's what I'm saying. I don't trust this coaching staff to give them the best of the best at positions, whether it's through free agency or the draft or both, to get the best out of them. Because I mean, if Pete's just going to play who he wants to play, and he's going to let his kid play people at positions or play who he wants to play, and never really look at anything from a talent aspect, then what's the point?
Yeah. Well, I got a question for all three of you, if you don't mind. Who do you think we're going to pursue? We're obviously getting rid of Pete Carroll now. That's kind of a foregone conclusion, but who do you think we're going to pursue? Like I think I told you guys last week, I think we're going to pursue Jonathan Gannon because I think he's done with the Cardinals, and I think we'll pursue him if the Cardinals get rid of him. But who do you guys think might come here?
I'm not actually convinced that they're going to get rid of Pete Carroll. And the reason why I say that is we've seen other firings, and his name hasn't been mentioned. His son's name hasn't been mentioned. They haven't benched Geno. You think he'd be benched by now, but I think that's Pete Carroll's decision. I think that they're going to roll with Pete and Geno next year. I really do.
Wow. I guess I have 8 months to mentally prepare for that. Get some psych meds, get some therapy going. I should be able to weather the storm next year.
See,
I don't say that because if the writing doesn't seem to be on the wall. Like I said, maybe a little glimpse of that would be if we've even seen Geno get benched. I don't think he's going to be benched at all this season. I think they're going to let him play the entirety of the season. And that's coming, and I think that's a decision coming from Pete Carroll. And if they're still letting him make those types of decisions, which we all disagree with, I think they're just going to keep him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, on the Geno thing, because I thought maybe a few weeks ago, but Pete is really committed to sticking with Geno, and he's going to use his 17 of 21 thing from yesterday to justify keeping Geno out there. And so, although Geno did not play terribly yesterday for the most part, I mean, he had some boneheaded stuff as always, but this was one of his better games in a while, I would think.
Well, I'll agree with that. The bar is low, but I thought that they did better than I was expecting them to do.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of fight. I mean, they did. I mean, in the past 4 or 5 weeks, it felt like they just had no, like they were just little kids out there playing against grown men. You know what I'm saying? This time they at least tried to. I felt like they gave it their all this time. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we got my guy Arthur Omar. Do you want to comment on?
I mean, unfortunately, I have to agree with you, but I think it's because that the Raiders should fire Pete Carroll that they won't. Like, if anyone should have got a second one, it should have been AP, but they went a different direction. And now that it's time for them to go a different direction, they're not going to do it. Unfortunately, I think you're right. I do think there's some right now. I don't have my top coaching list yet. I'll start looking at that a little bit later. If we do fire Pete, I'll start looking at that. But unfortunately, I want it to happen, so therefore it's not going to happen.
I think it's kind of twofold. It's one, if you're looking to go after a quarterback in the draft, and that is your main focus. I agree with Spicy. It's not a great college quarterback draft, but if you're like hell bent on getting a quarterback in the draft, then I think you do go a different direction with Pete. Maybe you don't fire him. Maybe you do what Seattle did with him and say, you know what, we're not going to fire you because we're still going to pay you anyways. So we're going to move you over here into the front office and basically find you something to do. That's what happened in Seattle. He's going to be like basically some sort of, advisor or whatever, which no one's going to take his advice, but it gets people out of there. But if you don't plan on going quarterback in the draft and the plan is to wait till next year and look at CJ Carr or that quarterback class, then maybe you do wait. Pete's not some quarterback whisperer. He's not, the Brian Dabols like you just talked about, Omar. He's not Mike McDaniel. He's not one of those inventive offensive minds. So I think it's just going to come down to the philosophy, what Spytek's thinking, and just kind of the philosophy of the team. But I mean, I could see them pushing him into a front office position and just saying, you know what, we're going to continue to pay you. You're just not going to be paid as the head coach.
Interesting. And I say this kind of jokingly, but can we explore the options of the coaches we're already paying?
Sure.
Well, I thought I didn't think Greg Olson should have been promoted. I thought it should have been his name's escaping me now too. Philbin.
Philbin.
Yeah, I hate getting old.
I think we all was thinking Philbin.
Yeah. Well,
and he's been with us, what? Philbin isn't new to our coaching squad, right? Hasn't he been with us?
He's a carryover.
Yeah. AP brought him in, right?
Mm-hmm. And he's coached up some mighty fine offenses in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Philbin is the one that took over the offensive line midway last season and actually got them going in the right direction last year.
Yeah, not for nothing, but I'm from Milwaukee, so I kind of in the loop on some of this stuff. There's rumors that Matt LaFleur and his front office aren't too happy with each other, so it'd be interesting if he becomes available. He's one guy who really could turn this whole thing around for us.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? We all hope that the next guy coming in is going to turn it around. It just seems like it's always downhill, unfortunately.
Yeah,
right.
Like we all have hopes, and the next guy is going to come in and fix it. It just never happens. The problem is all these guys are good individually. There's just no complete package. I mean, you have to have everything be cohesive, and that's the biggest problem. You pull one guy in from somewhere, and it's not necessarily going to work, right? You need the complete package. It's like, okay, look at what so-and-so did on this team. All right, but he had this, that, and the other to make that successful, and that's what the Raiders don't have and haven't had.
I remember when Randy Moss came, and he had this bad year, so we think, well, he sucks now or something. But then as soon as he left, he got back to his old self.
Oh, well, also he hated being on the Raiders.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
that.
And I think, when these guys are interviewing and whatever that process is with the Raiders, are they getting an understanding of their plan? Someone has to understand what this head coach is going to do. And when I mean what he's going to do, the two pivotal positions that gets everything going I can say three, including special teams coordinator, but those three coordinator spots. And, this is where a good GM needs to understand what style system they're going to run and looking at the personnel we got to have, because it seems like, and I'll just pick on Mark Davis, he's getting surprised. Like, hey, you didn't understand what he was going to do with the personnel he had and the expectation that's not crazy. You know what I mean? Because you look at what Ben Johnson did with the Bears right now. But the one thing he went to that team with, that team had a lot of the pieces there. They had the quarterback. He looked at that and said, oh, all I got to do is this, and that. Obviously, ownership bought it, and it's paying off for them. We need a lot more work than that. And I'm just wondering, like I say, someone, and just because Tom Brady played and won championships does not mean he can be a VP of operations and understand all of these things. You know what I mean? And to think that, because he's in the room, he understands all that. Nah, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Because I've heard too many times that great players can play, not coach. You know what I mean? And a lot of great coaches coached and didn't play or didn't play very long. You know what I mean? So I just think, like I said, I think they got to manage expectations, get a plan, and get ready to keep at it and grind it out, man. Because if not, like I say, we're just going to have this coaching carousel continue. We're going to have a GM carousel continue. We're going to see players come and go and, hold on to just a few and never really build anything. So buckle your seatbelts, guys.
That being said, though,
they've been buckled for decades, Omar.
Right.
But you mentioned Ben Johnson. The thing about Ben Johnson is he came in, he looked at that team, he saw what the shortcomings they had. He rebuilt that entire offensive line in the offseason. He went out and he made 2 trades, and he picked up an offensive lineman because he knew that they couldn't protect Caleb Williams. Pete hasn't shown me that he can do that. He didn't look at our shortcomings and say, hey, our secondary, I'm a quarterback whiz. That's what I do. I know how to build secondaries. This secondary, Raiders secondary is not good. We need to build this secondary. He didn't do that. He didn't look at the offensive line and say, you know what? There's some shortcomings on this O-line. If I'm bringing my guy in, Geno, I need to make sure we can protect him. He didn't do that. They draft Ashton Genty at number 6 overall, and they don't do anything to address that offensive line other than bringing in Alex Kappa, who was terrible. Who we knew was
we had the money. We had the money. That's what drives me nuts, is that you don't bring in a Pete Carroll to win later. Right. So why are we? Well, what's the $48 million in the bank for, man? Because you should have spent
that.
And that's my problem with this coach.
It's way more than that.
I'm scratching my head still.
They did nothing with the talent to improve the talent of this roster in the offseason. Knowing you got the job in January, you knew what you had. You should have been assessing everything since January, and then went out and said, this is what I need. Like you said, we had the money to do it, and he didn't address it. Ben Johnson went out and addressed their shortcomings.
Yep. That's why I say it's all on Pete. A lot of this is on Pete.
Absolutely.
Because you bring in a veteran quarterback, you get a brand spanking new sports car running back, no blocking. No tires on that. Yeah. No tires on them rims. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. And I'm like, well, at least I can say this. We don't have to tank. We just keep playing the way we're playing. We probably will have the number 2 pick. We'll probably just move right on up the board. And I think we'll have the number 2 pick and whatever, like I say, the choice of whatever we think, because I don't think Tennessee is going to pick a quarterback. So if it's only like 2 really good quarterbacks there, we should have first choice at them with the way we're playing. For some reason, the Jets came alive with the veteran, journeyman quarterback back there. Like, okay, keep winning.
Something to look forward to. The number 1 draft pick for them to F up.
Exactly.
I don't know if Tennessee is going to get out of that position, man.
They play the Saints. They play the Saints.
Yeah.
They play
the battle of the bad, huh? All right, exactly. Another battle of the bad.
They have some little games on their schedule where they could luck into a win against the Browns. They play the Saints. I think the last game of the season. I mean, they have a couple winnable games on their schedule that they just may, screw up and win and fall into a couple wins, and there you go. We're right there.
I hate to say this, though. If we have the number 1 or 2 draft pick, that would make our coaching position kind of valuable. Yes. You know what I mean? We got a lot of cap. We'll have even more cap space. I think we'll have 112 going into next season or something, I heard. So you got all that cap space, and you got the number 2, let's just say number 2 draft pick.
Yep.
Hey, coaches will start licking their chops at our team. You know what I mean? Saying, okay, you know what I mean? I got a couple of journeyman quarterbacks. Sorry, April. Yes, I'm calling AOC a journeyman right now. But, we got Pickett, we got AOC right there. And then, I would roll with if it was up to Omar. If Omar was in charge, I would get rid of Geno. I would let AOC or Pickett. I don't know. I think do we have Pickett for 2 years?
Yes.
Is he on a 2-year contract or something that we inherited?
It's 2 years, yeah.
And I would draft me a rookie. If I'm at the number 2 and one of those guys I love get there, but I'm gonna sit him. I'm gonna let one of these journeymen and just build. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I agree. On Accelerator, before we let you go, any last words?
Not too much. I guess my thing is just hopefully Pete Carroll can have his arm twisted into playing the younger guys for the rest of the season, and we've got 5 games left, or 6 games, 5 games, something like that. Let them get a few games under their belts so that during spring break you kind of know what you got, and they'll have some experience going into next year, and that should help solidify some things on at least the offensive side, if not both sides of the ball. So I guess that's my final word.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate you. Much love.
Yeah, appreciate you guys as well.
Thanks for pulling up.
Absolutely. Thanks, brother. Thank you.
All right. Mother Moon asked, and I'm going to answer. Yes. What does my shirt stand for? One of our sponsors here, Barrels and Vine over in Henderson near the M Resort. If you're going to be in Vegas this weekend, this Saturday, the day before the Broncos game, we are going to have an event at Parkway Tavern, also near the M Resort. Parkway on Volunteer from 12 to 3. We're going to do our live podcast there. Also, we're going to have some cars to show off in the parking lot, some special guest appearances for some fans, and the best part, Raiders giveaway. And this is thanks to one of our sponsors here, Barrel and Vine. They're going to be giving out bottles of Woodson whiskey. We have another sponsor, Gifted Soul, who's going to give a custom pair of Nike Air Force Ones. And these are giveaways. It's not a raffle. Show up, be there, and win. That's it. We also have 2 other sponsors, M-Ride. They are going to be giving out free shuttle rides to the Raiders game of your choice, as well as custom t-shirts that are going to be given. We have so many giveaways. I'm going to be announcing them on our Instagram all week long. Come through 12 to 3. Join us on the live podcast and go with some cool Raider swag. Also, co-host is going to be Mother Moon along with 805 Raider. So come and check us out. Be there, everybody's. Oh, look at you
I'm
guys.
gonna be stomping in my Air Force One.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now I'm sorry.
Air Forces.
When you said Air Force Ones, I'm like,
Right? I was there.
Right? I want a custom pair. Actually, don't have them with me, but I'll actually, they are custom to the show. He's got the Spicy Girl logo, the For Life for Raider Roundtable logo, and of course this one here, For Life for Raider Story logo in the silver and black, of course. And I'll be posting those on Instagram too. That's how I customize mine. You can customize, if you win, you can customize however you like it. So I'll be sharing that too. And again, they're giveaways. It's not a raffle. Doesn't cost anything. Just come, support, hang out with Raider Nation, and win some cool prizes.
I need me some custom Air Ones. I got some custom Chuck Taylors though. I got some Raider silver and black custom Chuck Taylors, but I got to get some now. I got to get on that custom Air Ones.
Yes.
Damn it, step my game up. Got to step my game up.
Oh, hey, come through. Win some Air Force Ones.
Right? There you go. All righty.
Guys. Well, we've got a little bit more time here.
Right.
Where do we go from here? They're eliminated. Unfortunately, like we've been talked about this whole time, the Raiders have officially been eliminated. We're not even there were days where I thought it was funny when we were in the hunt, when I knew we didn't have a chance. I wish we had those days back when we were in the hunt. We are not. We're officially eliminated. What do we do from here? What do we do in these 5 games left, I believe? These 5 games left. I think they've got to, we've said this all along, right? You've got to start playing some of those rookies, get them some snaps, get them some field time, get them some exposure, get them working. I think that's all we can do right now. Honestly, I don't know what else we can do at this point, except get guys playing time. What do you guys think? What do we do for these last 5 games?
Yeah, definitely start with the rookies. Unfortunately, he is just not going to get his son out of this offensive line. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, dude, his son ruined Genty's rookie season.
Yep. 100%.
And there's still time to give Genty back some of his rookie season. And the only way that's going to happen is if, let Philbin get on that line, man, or let Philbin train the trainer. You know what I mean? Let Philbin help your son become a better O-line coach. I mean, something. I think that's all I got. I mean, I think he is not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see any other quarterback but Geno, and I hope they go down in flames together. But
April
for real,
got the love for Geno. April, she been going nonstop since the top of the show, just one after the next. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying he told us to blame him anyway, so girl is blaming him.
Wait. Alvin Omega said they should be banned from press conferences. Damn.
Right.
I heard the hell out of that. Like, dude, stay away from the mic. Drop the mic. Yeah, but like I said, to me, that's where everything starts. I would love for them to try to help salvage Genty's rookie season, because it's been frustrating watching this kid that I know got way too much. You guys remember, I was excited about the Genty pick just like I was about Brock Bowers.
Right.
And fortunately, Brock Bowers was able to shine his rookie season, and he's been able to do some good things. But even his season has been stunted by this offensive line, I'll say. You know what I mean? And, of course, Geno. But specifically, the O-line, I mean, too many times defenders are all in the backfield, and this kid just has no room to do anything. So if we could just clean that up for the rest of at least that would be
averaging. What did he average yesterday? 2-3 yards a carry initially.
Something like that.
It was terrible. He was getting hit in the backfield almost every time. But I just want to address this comment before you go, Arthur. We will say this, right? We said, actually, I was saying this with everyone I was watching the game with yesterday. Win, lose, or tie, Raiders till we die. That's right. Just go Raiders, baby. He says, it's true. We still put on the silver and black every Sunday. We know damn well they're not going to lose. It's just how bad, they're not going to win. It's just how bad are they going to lose? I don't mean to be negative, but I mean, that's just the facts. But we're still putting on the silver and black every single week, and we are in front of those TVs and at that game from kickoff to the whistle at the end of it blows. So we're right there with you. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, man. We show up. We've always show up. You know what I mean? Some way, in our own way. But 17 games a season, man. We're out here some kind of way rooting. Hey, I was being positive yesterday. Y'all remember? I was being positive.
You thought we were coming back.
Optimistic Omar came back.
He did come back.
We missed you for a while.
First quarter. Look, that first quarter had me juiced. I'm like, oh, the defense is playing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes,
the first quarter where they were 3 out in a minute and 40 seconds had you juiced.
I was talking about our defense holding the LA to 7 points. I was talking about our defense, okay? I said our defense. I love defense. So when our defense is out there showing up, I was like, all right, we got a little game. The defense is about to, keep us in this. And, and then it changed, but whatever.
It changed. What are you going to do?
Right? Drink a little something, and keep raidering.
I forgot about that. We just had a whole segment on it. If you're drinking with us, the drinking game alert is eliminated. We're not drinking coffee, we're drinking a Coke.
Wait. April said 17 games, 17 drunk extravaganzas. Wow.
Hey, we never lose in the parking lot.
Never lost in the parking lot.
But we are eliminated. Yes, Mother Moon, we are.
I just think she wants us to get drunk at this point.
Man,
I'm gonna help you play at home with all those eliminated in the comments. We kind of digressed there a little bit. Did you want to comment on that?
No, I agree. I've been saying it for the last 2 months. We need to not only play the rookies, but like I said, let them stay in there. The rotations that we're doing with them, it's just hellacious. Give them that experience, get them that exposure, let them take their lumps. I think that we kind of talked about coaching obviously a lot tonight, that the line is terrible. We know the line's terrible, but Geno needs to move that pocket a little bit more. He's standing back there and he's just letting it collapse around him. I think he did it twice yesterday that I can remember, that when he actually moved the pocket a little bit and bought some time, he was able to make some throws, even if it was a check down. I mean, so I just want to see that get cleaned up a little bit. And just, that's the only thing we can hope for is, like I said, play these young guys, let them get out there, let them take some lumps, let them learn. And like I said, for me, hopefully they're going to take that experience with a new coaching staff next year and something we can build on.
The new coaching staff next year. Something we don't? Was that a Freudian slip? Wishful thinking?
Just wishful thinking. I'm just hoping, like I said, I'm right there with you. I mean, we can give him the best players in every round of this draft, go out and get the best players in free agency. I don't trust this staff to be able to coach them up. I just don't.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I remember what people were saying about AP. And, he came up fast. Right. So, hell yeah, he's going to make a lot of mistakes. He came up fast. But the one thing we all knew going into that season was he had a ton of intangibles. He had those things that is either it's natural. You know what I mean? And now you go to Pete Carroll. He's a veteran guy who knows what it takes, who's built championship teams. And you fall this hard? I mean, that to me is you got to go. I'm sorry. Yeah. We had a guy that we could have built around, allow him time to learn his craft a little bit better as a head coach, kind of figure out his coaching staff a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're supposed to know. At Pete Carroll's stage, dude, you're a veteran. You're supposed to know when you say, hey, here's my offensive coordinator because of this, and this, and this. You know what I mean? I'm going to stay with Pat Graham and let him stay with this defense because of this, and this. Because you've seen it. You've been there many, many times. So I just really hope that we learned a lesson and then we move on because, and I, like I say, I know we are all screaming consistency, but I just don't think, I was hoping Pete Carroll was going to be that immediate answer because we all were saying it. Oh yeah, he's going to be great for 2 or 3 seasons. We were all giving it like 2 seasons with Pete Carroll, you know what I mean? And a possible 3rd. Well, 1 is done. So we ain't getting that 2 or 3 good seasons out of Pete Carroll. So I'm just saying, I think we should cut him.
Can we get 2 or 3 wins from Pete Carroll?
I mean, and if you think about the losses, we got 5 losses out of Pete Carroll with 17 or more points. Those are blowouts.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not scoring either. We're scoring 15 points a game.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, so like I say, I had patience last season and like, damn, all right. But
Right.
I don't have any patience with a guy who's won a championship in the pros, 2 championships at the college level, been coaching since I was born.
Right.
Literally,
dude.
right?
Right. Exactly. So,
all right, guys. Well, we're going to end on a positive note here. We're going to end on a positive note. We said it at the top of the show, but I'm going to say it again because that's my guy. Congratulations to Mad Max Crosby, the Condor, making it to yet another Pro Bowl game. A round of applause, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yes. Good
appearance.
I hope Bowers gets a Pro Bowl. You know, I know we stunted his growth.
Yeah, the Raiders tend to do that.
Right, but I hope he can sneak in as well.
That would be nice. Remember, if you haven't already, like that torch, hit that like button. You please subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe, join, and become a member as well. And also, a friendly reminder: if you're in Vegas on December 6th, the day before the Broncos game, come through, hang out with us at Parkway Tavern and volunteer near the M Resort. Come hang with us. Come hang with Raider Nation. Come enter to win some really, really, really cool giveaways. Thank you to all our sponsors. And you know, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way.
Only one way.
Raiders.
Monday Night Madness is where your voice takes them.
So I don't need to play that. Good night, everyone.
Good night.